It's Operation Babble with Myke Shrews. It's pop culture, music, movies, TV too. It's time to explore life. It's Operation Babble time.
Welcome back, everybody, to Operation Babble, episode 143. Holy shit, man. We're almost to 150, and I am ready for it. I am Myke Shrews. Here with me is my co-host, Tivis. Tivis, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing pretty damn good, actually.
Awesome. So today, guys, we don't have anything that we watch specifically. We need to get back to that because we've done several of these just chit chat episodes, but it's nice to do the chit chat shit before we dive into like a whole series of shit we're going to talk about for you guys.
Yeah.
If you do want to, you can follow Operation Babble on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Operation Babble. You can also email Operation Babble anything you want. If you want to be a guest, you want to be a sponsor, you want to give us ideas, tell us how crap we are. I don't care, man. You can email us at operationbabble@outlook.com. And then I think that's about it. Oh, you can also find us on YouTube, and we'll see our pretty ugly faces there on the Myke Shrews YouTube channel. All links are in the descriptions below wherever you're watching and or listening to us. Okay. Done. I'm done. All right. We're out. Peace.
Quick episode.
If my audio is a little off today, guys, I apologize. I'm in a remote location at the moment. So I have like a small setup here, and apologize for any audio issues. All right, Tivis, take it away. Give me something to talk about or complain about.
Actually, there's been a lot of shit the past couple weeks that I've been pretty happy with.
Yeah.
Kenobi ended.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kenobi ended. I have not yet watched it. I need to watch all 8 episodes, right?
6
episodes. Okay. Are they each an hour long?
30 to 40.
30 to 40.
I think the finale might be an hour.
Not even 6 hours worth of TV. Okay, I can do that. Easy.
Yeah, dude, I'm not ashamed to say that the last like fucking 10, 15, 20 minutes of the finale, it got tears out of me. That was fucking awesome.
Good emotional response. I've heard that it had a pretty good ending. Are they doing a season 2 or no? Or is it
unknown at this time? There's interest, but I mean, well, what's the spoil? He goes back to Tatooine.
Well, I mean, I didn't know if they were like they ended it when the movie started or whatnot.
So, I mean, we already know what happens to his character. He gets killed by Vader. Like
spoilers,
10 years,
man. Jeez,
go watch A New Hope. Or Star Wars, if you're one of them old
like
curmudgeons.
50-year-old spoiler, man.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy with it. Like, I'm so happy to be a Star Wars fan right now. It's just good after good after good. We need this after that lackluster sequel trilogy.
Yeah. So do you think that TV is where they're going to put most of their money?
They should. That's clearly where they shine.
Yeah. It's interesting too, because they've never really been like the Star Wars brand anyways, was never really about TV. It was just the movies. That's all you
need. It's interesting. Lucas could tell a story within a condensed amount of time. And I don't know if the current people there know how to do that. They need the extra time. And I'm happy to give it.
But they also want to expand the universe. But I also feel like when the original trilogy came out, it was those 3 movies for the longest time.
Yeah. Well, I think the first book didn't come out till like 93. I need to check that,
and then the sequel trilogy didn't start till the late 90s. So it was just that stuff.
Yeah, 99.
For about, I want to say the last Star Wars movie was what, early 80s? In the original trilogy anyways.
Yeah, I think it was the same year Aliens came out, maybe.
Yeah. So you've had this franchise that's awesome. It was built on 3 episodes. Yeah. Well, the way the TV is going now, I mean, Stranger Things had an hour and a half episodes. So yeah, they're episodes.
I'm sorry. The first spin-off book came out in 1978, which was the original script for the sequel movie that they decided to not do. But then the books started going annually in 1991.
Okay.
With Heir to the Empire and the Thrawn and all that.
As far as visual audio-visual representation, we only had the 3 movies for so long. Then we got 3 other movies, which were pretty good. Like, I know they got a lot of hate when they first came out, unfortunately. Like, the internet wasn't around either. But I feel like
it kind of was. And I think that's what.
Yeah. Loosely, it wasn't as big as it is now. You know?
Yeah.
But I feel that, like, we had those, and then nowadays I just feel like everybody wants more and more and more content. Like, they can't just sit down and rewatch the same thing, unfortunately. They just want to keep building onto the story. And so the companies are going to keep building onto the story until it's just a dead horse. Which, I mean, I don't care so much for. I mean, look, I'm a Fast and Furious guy. They keep adding shit to that all the time, and I love it. So as far as Star Wars, I will watch this series because I did like the was it prequel trilogy? Yeah, prequel trilogy. I did like that series. I probably watched that series more than I watched the original trilogy.
So let's see. The last movie came out in 1983 of the original trilogy. So what I say, 92. So about 9 years before it became an annual thing with a few books scattered in between.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm just curious about how people look at these products now, because there's just so much of them. Just like Marvel, it's like there's a never ending thing of Marvel product coming out all the time now. And then Star Wars, I'm just like, Disney, give us time to like sit on the products and let us enjoy what we just got before you give us something else. Like, you know.
Yeah, I know a lot of the, I hate to use this term, but the casual viewers of Star Wars, like, they're only used to the stuff on the screen. Whereas, again, since since I've been alive, since I was born in 1990, Star Wars has literally been an annual thing my entire life with content. So I don't feel the burnout like other people are saying. It doesn't matter to me whether it's written or on screen. It's still a story in the franchise.
Yeah.
So I don't have I'm less.
Look, I remember I'm in the horror genre fandom, and I mean, we have like 100 Nightmare on Elm Street movies, 100 Friday the 13th movies, 100 Hellraiser movies. Like, they, and they keep adapting it and retconning shit constantly. So I'm used to like the retcons and the building on the universe and all this shit.
Yeah.
Easier than like some people that don't necessarily watch horror and are so used to that. So I think I adapt a little bit easier to it, like with Fast and Furious, because they continually make those movies and they're retconning some of the past things here and there, but also building onto their universe as well. And I enjoy that type of filmmaking, honestly. And I think it's because it was just ingrained in me in such a young age because of the horror genre, doing it so frequently and so often,
Yeah.
And so as far as like, your general audience or your normies or whatever you want to call people, yeah, I can understand where they're just like, I don't get it, but yet they're also probably the same people who are just like, I need 5 more seasons of Game of Thrones.
Well, they're going to get it. That prequel is coming out.
The Jon Snow one?
I think. I never watched the original show, so I have no idea. I think it's got Matt Smith in it. That's all I know.
I stopped after season 1 of that show.
Go Matt Smith. Get it. Get that money.
I think it's a little easier for fans of like horror and sci-fi originally from back in the day to understand and see and accept how the film industry is right now, where they just keep adding on to the franchises. You know, I mean, we're going to have more Ghostbusters movies in this current decade before, you know, before when we just had just the 2 movies for like 3 decades.
Yeah. I really hope this 5th one is as good as that 4th. Because man, that was, I don't have an emotional attachment to those first 2 movies like at all. I think they're just okay. I think people put them on a pedestal. Like, to me, it appears like the actors don't even want to be there in that first one, and they're just doing it to get the movie they actually wanted, which is actually something that happened. It's behind the scenes tales. They did that so they could have the money to do this other thing they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Well, I know Dan Aykroyd was like, he really wanted to do the Ghostbusters, but in a different way. He wanted it to be a completely different thing. And when you hear what he talks about, I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm glad you didn't do that. Man.
It's kind of like the original Jurassic Park 4 before they went to Jurassic World, where the human hybrid velociraptors.
I would like that.
I would not. That's just Turok.
But it's like the dream sequence from Jurassic Park 3. Grant, wake up with the raptor.
That 4th Ghostbusters, that also got a fucking tear from me. And again, I have no emotional connection to that shit. So it's just really well told.
How's it the 4th? Oh,
because the
2016.
2016 is the 3rd. It's the 3rd in that series, but the 4th Ghostbuster movie.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't mind so much. I mean, I can get the annoyance, especially when they're doing like Star Wars is, where they're jumping between 2 different
stuff.
Yeah. Because it's like, if you want to do a chronological watch, it's like, oh, cool, here I go. And then you get to a point and then they release something that's previously like, oh, I got to backtrack a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess I can see how it could be annoying, but I don't know. I'm fine. It's fine. Just give me more stuff to watch that I like.
Yeah. Just give me something that's going to
keep me from watching other stuff and exploring new options. That's what I want in life. But other stuff that I'm excited is the anime that got me to recognize it as a genre and not just lump them in with cartoons. Mm-hmm. As a legitimate like way to tell stories, like it blew my mind. It's called Trigun.
Oh yeah.
It's getting a reboot.
Is it going to be on Netflix?
I don't know where it's going to be. I know it's going to be CG animated based.
Okay.
And so I'm excited for more of that. I know that the show deviated a bit from the original source material, so maybe if they stick to that, it'll be fresh enough for me.
Right.
I just they need to bring back the rock soundtrack. If they don't have that, it won't be, it won't feel like Trigun. What else happened this week? Miss Marvel can
I was the same way with freaking the new Child's Play one, the horrible Child's Play one.
Yeah.
It was just like, you guys took away like the voodoo soul thing. You just made it a killer toy. Like it takes away like the main point of like the entire franchise is about the dude trying to get back into a body. Like, what's the point of this? Like crazy electronic, toy trying to kill everybody.
Like when they made Freddy Krueger a pedophile.
Yeah. Which I hate to say it, but Freddy Krueger pedophile or Freddy Krueger child killer? Child killer. I prefer that one.
Yeah.
The pedophile shit was just weird. Yeah.
Miss Marvel.
Sorry.
No, what'd you say?
I was going to say Robert Englund was, they're trying to see if they can get one more movie out of him. He said he'd be willing to do one more as a Freddy. So that'd be interesting.
Oh, that's cool.
So, anyways, go on with Miss Marvel.
I'm just continuing to enjoy that. That's surprising. I'm shocked that it's the least viewed thing on Disney Plus because
I think it's because of the style. Because it reminds me of a Diary of the Wimpy Kid and shit like that.
Yeah, it's definitely more geared towards younger audiences, but it's still enjoyable.
Yeah.
I love their use of the background in this. It's so.
I'm going to assume unique. That it's as it progresses, it's not going to be as childy, I guess you would say, as it progresses, because she's going to end up in the Miss Marvels or the Marvels movie or whatever show.
Yeah.
With all those other characters that aren't necessarily.
Which makes me wonder could we see Monica again in the finale? Because I doubt we'll see Cara Danvers.
Carol Danvers?
Carol, that's it. I'm trying to. What the hell is her first name?
I would be interested to see who does show up at the end because somebody's going to show up, right?
This Moon Knight had no connection to anything at all other than some background posters that connected it to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
This is connected way so much, you can't even escape it.
And I honestly, if they go, which I suspect is going to be the case, but if they go the route of the Avengers game that came out a few years ago, which is where she is the main character that gets the Avengers back together after they fall apart during a horrible tragedy.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be a main player for building up whatever comes next, because she has become many people scoffed at the idea of her character. She's a Mr. Fantastic ripoff that's Muslim that also is using a legacy name. Boy, can they be any more, panhandling here? No, it turns out they actually had a really good idea for a character that became something special in her own right. I mean, there's a reason she's been a part of so many things. She's extremely popular.
Well, I think also the way they portray her personality in the comics and the video game and in the show is both as being a massive fangirl of these superheroes. So in that aspect, you're like, okay, it does make sense that she might be take a Marvel name and she can do this one pot, she can stretch her arm out like Mr. Fantastic. In the movies though and stuff like that, it's looking or in the show, it's looking like they're getting away from that and giving it more of a a cosmic look to it. So it's not going to be
more Green Lantern like ability.
Yeah. So
I'm perfectly fine with as well, because stretching looks terrible on screen, especially in TV.
Do you think they stay with that, or do you? Because they mentioned in one of the episodes that the power is coming from within her, and that the thing.
I thought the same thing.
So
is this going to change things? Especially after the last week's episode, which they reveal a bit more, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting. There's, things may change in the future for sure.
And I know another one will be out by the time this comes out. So I look forward to watching it. I'm not super sold on the show. I'm enjoying it, but it's not I have to watch it right away type of thing.
See, we're both absorbed. This is the only third Marvel show that my wife has been interested in.
Yeah.
So far, it's been WandaVision because she likes Wanda, Loki, and then this.
I tell you one thing. I told my wife, the thing I like the most about her show is everything that has to do with her family life. I'm liking that stuff more than more than the cosmic, I got powers. There's these other beings here and stuff like that. I like the family aspect of it because it's showing you these what are they called? Generational
changes.
Changes, but what the hell are they called? Not generational slavery, but I forget what they call it.
Where you're like kind of
it's because of the generation you kind of grew up in, so those evolve into your personality and shit like that too.
Yeah.
I forget what the exact term for it is at the moment. I usually know it. But yeah, they show a lot of that in there, and it's really cool to see because it's not just the generation, but it's also the culture that she lives in as well. And it's a good thing for people to see that because a lot of people, a lot of the majority of people, I should say, don't understand the different cultural differences and stuff like that. Oh, go on.
I tried to Google it, and the result that comes up is generational trauma.
Yeah, that's a good one too. It's the same thing almost.
Yeah, it is. And it's like the family thing is a really big one because that's in the game that I mentioned.
Yeah,
it's extremely small part of it, but it left an impression on me because they did it so well. So I'm glad they're doing that with the show as well. And it's become interesting to watch these shows of other cultures. Like we got it with Shang-Chi a bit, but this one especially, like seeing a glimpse into that world.
Well, yeah, but the thing with her culture and with her parents and the generations that her mom grew up in and stuff like that, and how they interact with her is what builds her into the superhero that she becomes. So much so that, I don't remember seeing it in the trailer. I only watched like one trailer, but so much so that she incorporates their flag into her outfit, the Pakistani flag.
Oh, does she? That's something I didn't know. I know from the comics, because we're going to get that costume. I always say it wrong, but the head dress that they wear, I forget. I keep wanting to call it a burqa, and it's not a burqa. I know that, and I don't want to get people to get upset with me. I know it's not a burqa, but whatever that is, she incorporates that into her costume, and that's always been a big, that's been a part of her character forever, and it's really great that they're leaning into that she cares about who she is, where she comes from, and they're just all around. This show is doing things that I wanted it to do and hoped it would do. Just so good, because like I was saying earlier, I don't know where they're going to go, whether we get a new, Avengers reunited or whatever they want to call it, or Young Avengers or the Champions, because she's been a part of a lot of teams.
Yeah.
Sticking with Disney, we also got the first trailer for Hocus Pocus 2, and it looks good.
Yeah, I saw that like right when it dropped almost. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'm very curious how much they take from the sequel book, because I actually enjoyed the story in the sequel book.
I haven't read it.
Yeah, it sits on my bookcase. I've read it once, but I probably will go back.
I bought it for my wife because she's such a big fan, and she's read it. I don't know if she finished it or not, but I haven't touched it, and I probably should one of these days. I got so many things I need to be reading. My book catalog is larger than my movie and TV show catalog.
Yeah.
But
okay, yeah. I want to say, because I can't find it exactly here, if I am misstating what her costume is based on, I thought it was based on her flag. I know it has something to do with her culture, though.
Yeah, she incorporates a lot of Muslim inspiration in the design.
Yeah, that's what it is. Because I was like, it's not the Pakistani flag. What the hell is that?
Yeah, I'm excited for when that. I don't expect it until the final episode, but that's going to be awesome because we see it in the end credits. And because they show the actual comic version of her in the end credits and stuff.
Yeah.
It's I'm just super happy with the show in general, just all around. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's just hitting everything I want it to.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, man.
It's going to be hard to topple Loki though, which is still my favorite.
Yeah. Anyways, Hocus Pocus. I'm sorry.
Yes.
For going backwards. Yeah. No, Disney looks like they have this one done pretty good. I'm curious why it's just going to Disney Plus and not to the theaters for Halloween. But okay.
They must be worried that it's only a cult classic, which it may be. I know it's very popular. It's an annual staple in our hosts every host.
And it's funny though, because
why am I saying weird?
I've seen people online being like, oh, they can't put it in theaters. How am I supposed to watch this? I'm just like, it costs more to go to the movie theaters than to just buy Disney Plus for 1 month, right? It's like,
or get a free trial.
Yeah, just get the free trial for the day or week or whatever it is. I'm just like, why? Some people's stupidity doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
I would like to see it in theaters just to have that experience, but I get it. The first one was awesome. I watch it every year for Halloween, every year. Yeah,
it's just such a good movie all around. I am curious. I know roughly the plot of the book deals with Max, not Mac. Is it Max, the main guy from the? I just said we watch this every year, and I can't remember his name.
Max is the girl.
Max Dennison. Oh, then who's the kid? The guy. Oh, son of a bitch. But I know it deals with him and that girl's daughter.
Yeah.
And we see in this
their kids. Their kids.
Yeah. And no, it is Max. That's the guy.
Is it?
Yeah. His sister's Danny.
Oh yeah, duh. I'm thinking of okay, never mind. Yeah, we both said we watch it every year too, which we do. I do for sure. Oh man, I watch way too much shit.
Allison is the love interest. Yeah, their daughter, which something happens. Like I said, I only know the rough description, like on the back of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And we see at the beginning of this, there's two girls doing magic that accidentally unleashes the Sandersons back into the mortal world.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this going to be one of their daughter, like one of them?
One of their kids or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
It gave me, unfortunately, when I was watching the trailer, like the beginning part before they like released the Sandersons again in the trailer, I was starting to like get flashbacks of when they like redid the Craft movie or like Charmed. I was just like, oh, I don't like those visuals, but we'll see how it turns out.
It does look very new. Like, what is that one they did? The children of the villains.
Fuck me, man. I don't remember the name of that.
It looks new age Disney kid movie, like zombies.
Like you're talking about like Maleficent,
Descendants,
shit like that. Descendants, yeah.
Yeah, the visuals and just the camera angles and stuff, the lighting.
The sisters look good though in their costumes.
Yeah, they do.
That and it looks pretty good.
All three of the actresses look great for how many years have passed.
Just trying to say, Tivis,
that we all age. Time is inevitable.
Honestly, they could look bad either way, because until they get, a human soul, a kid's soul, they're gonna be older looking anyways.
I am sad that the cat is back, which makes me think it's Binks, but Jason Marsden isn't going to be part of this.
Well, Binks was freed.
That's what I'm saying. But then we see the black cat. They focus on it a lot.
It could just be another black cat, or
could be.
It could just be a black cat by itself. It doesn't necessarily mean that Binks. I do know Doug Jones is returning in there as Billy, the zombie boyfriend guy thing that
that guy looks nothing like I expect him to without that makeup, especially today. Yeah, he kind of looks like Moby.
He has been in so much stuff. He actually was in what was it? The Batman Returns movie as one of the guys, the like skinny clown dude. And then he's been in like Hellboy. He was Abe in Hellboy, in the first two Hellboys anyways. He plays in Star Trek Discovery right now as Suru. And yeah, he's all over the place, man. And whenever they put makeup on him, you know, he always looks good in the makeup.
Oh, he's in some kind of sci-fi this year, last year, Battle in Space.
Yeah, he's a great one, great actor. And you with him, you know, he doesn't look as old as he is, honestly. And being able to play.
He was in a fan film for Han Solo.
Yeah. You going down his little rabbit hole there?
Yeah. Oh, he was is this the guy that is he Darth Maul and
no, he's not Darth Maul.
Oh, okay.
Like, not in the movie, not in the prequels. No.
Because I know that poor guy that plays Darth Maul also is Silver Surfer and was like the aquatic guy. I thought in Hellboy.
Doug Jones is Abe.
Yeah, I see that now. But everything that guy is in, the Darth Maul and Silver Surfer, they dub over his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I don't take it personal anymore. It's just what happened.
But anyways, I look forward to seeing the Hocus Pocus film. It'll be fun. We'll probably it comes out in September, so I'll at the end.
Yeah, like the last day, so that it's all October.
I'll probably end up doing, because we don't start our Halloween, like our traditional Halloween movies, until October. So maybe the first we'll do Hocus Pocus, and then the second we'll do Hocus Pocus 2 or something like that. Uh-huh. And that way we have it fresh in the mind.
So that's the good thing about watching TV specials is there's so fucking many of them. I start in September.
Yeah.
I don't watch the movies until October, but I start the TV specials in September because it's the Halloween season, man. They start playing fucking Christmas movies in July now. I'll never forget Freeform. I think it was back when it was still ABC Family, or maybe it was just after. On Halloween Day, they were playing Elf.
It's a scary movie.
It's scary that they put it on. Ugh.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the only other thing I have is there's a new episode of The Backrooms online. It's interesting. I really love this little mystery world that this guy is crafting. And, Then I saw Sonic 2.
Sonic 2. Pretty good movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the Sega references and the game references for sure.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. We were confused by why Knuckles was basically Drax, but
yeah, a little bit.
I thought it was really well done. It's kind of sad that it's sad, but also nice that this was Jim Carrey's swan song, unless, I
don't think
he could come back. They always retire. And also he really wants to make an Ace Ventura with Christopher Nolan. But
it's, and speaking of, everyone seems to want to be making movies with Christopher Nolan right now. I mean, you want to finish what you were saying?
I was just going to say it's like a classic. It's back to the Jim Carrey I remember from the 90s. So it's kind of nice to see him go out the same way I remember him starting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's just where I was going with that.
Yeah, we actually recently rewatched The Mask, the first one with Jim Carrey in it. So that was fun.
Oh yeah. Not Son of the Mask.
It looks like he's doing. Oh no, these are music videos. Never mind. Anyways,
he's doing music videos.
He's just.
I gotta look this up in my time.
It's the weekend. Out of time music videos, Doctor. He's been doing a bunch of like music videos for the weekend. I don't know, maybe he likes them or what. Yeah. But yeah, he'll come back and do it. Come on, Christopher Nolan, make an Ace Ventura Pet Detective 3 for us with Jim Carrey. And also, Christopher Nolan has the opportunity to write another trilogy Batman movie, and you will get Christian Bale back if he does it, and Warner Brothers, of course, signs off on it.
Why? Because the Flash is in such chaos.
Sure, why not? They need 500 Batman movies, don't you know? All at once.
Can I just say, anyone who's talking about boycotting the Flash over Ezra stuff, you do realize there's so many other people that worked on this fucking film, right? Like you're saying fuck you to all those people because one person's a lunatic.
Yeah. It's a tough one, like, because if you go to it, unfortunately, it is all going to be for him. That's how the studio will look at it, because he's the lead and plays like 4 different fucking roles. Honestly, I was going to go see it because it has Keaton in it. Yeah.
And Batfleck, maybe. They claim he's in it, but we've seen no actual proof.
Unless they both were like, yeah, we don't want to be associated with this film now. Can you please cut us both out?
I'm also curious about Supergirl. I want to meet the new Supergirl.
Oh yeah, Supergirl's supposed to be in that, right?
Yeah.
So do you think we're going to get our Batgirl film before this now? Because Flash isn't supposed to come out for another year, almost to date.
They still haven't delayed it that I know of, but they have to, right?
They don't have to.
I don't know. Keaton. I don't know what they're doing with Keaton's Batman. It's so...
We need Keaton. We need Batgirl. We need Brandon Fraser as Firefly. So yes, they need to put it out now. Like,
yeah, that movie better not fucking, that and Blue Beetle better not get scrapped by this new Discovery guy in charge of these films. That
I
keeps
think they're gonna scrap
writing off everything.
They already shot them.
You know, do you know how many things get made that never see the light of day?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. We're never going to see the Seth Green Star Wars comedy show that got made right before Disney bought.
I am.
They finished it.
I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, anyways, back to us. Like, Christian Bale was caught in an interview saying that he would not caught. He's found in an interview saying that he would come back if Christopher Nolan.
I'd do that again. Wait, what'd you say? Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he said he would come back if Christopher Nolan actually had something else that he wanted to do. So, which I don't ever see that happening. I think actually Christopher Nolan's relationship with Warner Brothers
is
a little skewed,
dissolved.
Right now. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with any of that. It's nothing. It's just clickbait titles. That's all that is, honestly.
Yeah.
Do you got any other fun news shit that came up recently?
Did you see Pluto? We're both a fan of Pluto. It's getting, well, it might already be on there now, the TMNT channel.
I think they already had that before.
They had I'm sorry. Transformers is the new channel they're getting.
I was going to say.
But like the TMNT, they're not going to be playing the original show because they didn't get the license to that.
Yeah, the TMNT channel on Pluto shows like the 2002 series, I want to say.
Yeah.
And the other stuff. So yeah. Yep. Transformers is going to just get all the newer stuff then.
I think so. Yeah. From like 2000s onwards.
What about the stuff that like Netflix does?
I don't know, because I know that was made by Rooster Teeth production or animation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if it's Netflix exclusive or they have it for now.
What are the people at Pluto doing? Why is there not a Munsters channel yet? Like
they have an Addams Family, for crying out loud,
and they have everything almost.
But like we were talking about I don't remember if we talked about it on this show or a Munsters. We do the Munster cast. Also check that out. Universal is like burying the Munsters right now with this new movie coming out, which makes no sense to me. They're putting it behind paywalls. They're removing easy to access content. They took it off Tubi.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of burying something, fuck you, Disney. I can't find Buzz Lightyear of Star Command TV show anywhere right now to watch. And
yeah, that confuses me.
I still haven't watched the new Buzz Lightyear movie. But I saw
something funny on that.
Okay.
The director said he's like, I don't know if Pixar is going to be doing spin-off movies in their future, because this was stressful.
So
yeah, I don't know.
Have you?
No,
watched?
I haven't seen it yet, but I want to. I really want to.
I'm curious because I had seen something where like Chris Evans, it's Chris Evans, right? Yeah.
America's ass.
Too many Chris's in this world.
That's why Pratt doesn't want to go by Chris anymore.
We'll get into that. But yeah, like it seemed like people got confused because we were told this was the story of the real life Buzz Lightyear.
That's what I'm under the impression of.
But then now I'm under the impression that it might not be that. So I'm really curious that it's just like, I don't know what it is, because people are online like making me confused by it. And I just haven't gotten out to the theaters.
I mean, it is confusing because...
Well, I'm also like, because if it is based... And this is all pointless because there's people out there who have already watched the movie and they're like, well, don't speculate, just fucking watch the movie. But anyways.
We will. We haven't had time.
Right. If it is based on the real life person and everything, it's like it's supposed to be a secret space mission and all that stuff. So I'm like, wait, well, why are we making a TV show like and toys like that about it, showing off all this tech? And then on top of that, I'm like, this tech that they show in that movie, not the same world Andy lived in.
Well, that was one of my theories. If you remember when they first announced this, I was like, it's either, because I said, it's either going to end with him getting a toy that has Tim Allen's voice and him being like, it sounds nothing like me, or during the credits, they're going to do a classic Pixar,
show them watch it.
Yeah, of the toys watching it with Buzz going, that sounds nothing like me. That line is going to be in the movie. I am 100% sure of it.
I kind of did think that it was going to be the pull out at the end where you see the toys sitting down watching the movie and Buzz is there. I think that's in there. Again, I know the movie's out and people are just like, no, shut up, you dumbass. But that's what I feel would be cool to do. And I'm still just trying to figure out, is it real life Buzz Lightyear or is it a
movie based on the toy?
Yeah. A movie based on the toy and stuff like that. Because that's how we got Transformers. They were toys first.
I just poured my dew into my empty cup, by the way, people. I know that probably didn't sound great audibly.
But yeah, so I'm just confused if it's a movie based on the toy in that world
or if the toy is based on this guy.
The toy based
which
on this
is
movie.
mind-blowing that Andy lives in a world where people went to another planet.
Yeah. But no, maybe it's just a movie that's based, like you said, either on the toy or the toy is based off of this movie itself. It's just a movie in their universe.
I mean, it's entirely possible. That's what Woody's based on, an old TV show.
Yeah. Or because the thing is with me, I'm like, fuck you, Disney, if that's the case, because we have a TV show already for Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Like, just fuck you all over the place, man.
I heard some rumors that the current curator of the kids content isn't a fan of that show, which if it was show. I don't understand executives that are like this. If it's popular and you get people to watch your product,
it shouldn't matter.
Put it on there. Yeah.
Like, we talk about things that we not necessarily like. I make you watch shit you don't like all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. For people who have never seen it, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command is a freaking awesome animated show. Like, they did a movie, and a lot more people know about the movie than the actual show itself. I think the movie came out first, and then they made the spin-off show from it.
Yeah, the movie is kind of like Star Wars: The Clone Wars, where it's like it could be 3 episodes, but they lumped it together in one as like a pilot.
Yeah. So, and it's a really cool show. I like that show. I wish it was on Disney Plus. Now I have to go find it somewhere on this internet, which it's hard because it's buried, man. Like, you can't find it. It's crazy.
Half of me expects them to put it up when the movie comes to Disney Plus, just because it'll generate the buzz. But
I see what you
I don't see why it's not on. But there's also quite a few things that aren't on there yet.
You didn't acknowledge it.
What?
You said because of the buzz.
Oh, pun not intended.
I was like, I got it. And you're just like, I totally missed my own thing.
Yeah, unintended. So are you going to watch this new Pooh movie?
The horror one?
Yeah.
Totally. We're going to do that for Halloween. What you talking about?
Are you serious?
Actually, no, I found Society 2. We're going to watch that.
No, we are not. I will use my one non-existent veto on this.
Okay. That's what you want to use your veto on? Your one veto?
Don't tell me there's a third one.
The Human Centipede.
Oh, son of a bitch. I've made a mistake.
All right. Anyways, I wouldn't put your wife through that. You'd just be sitting there and she'd be like, "You okay, Daddy?" And you'd be like, "Leave me alone. Don't touch me."
I hate you so much. Why is that? I thought you had forgotten again.
Come on, man. I'm getting fat. I'm like an elephant. I never forget.
You realize we have people who don't listen to both shows. They're not going to get the reference.
Tivis doesn't like the word daddy. Just so people understand.
I don't like being referenced at it. Why did
daddy?
My buddy just sent me George Carlin talking about the 10 Commandments. I'm so confused.
Okay. Anyways, let's get on with this show. So yeah, no, I'm interested to see the Pooh horror film that they have coming out. It just looks like a slasher with, like, you know, the Winnie the Pooh name and title on it. The guy dresses up like Winnie the Pooh, or somewhat dresses up like Winnie the Pooh. But it'll be interesting to see. I'm actually more interested in seeing the Pauly Shore Pinocchio movie that you sent me.
Oh yeah,
trailer for. I
just found out about that.
I love the new take on it. It's not a Disney product, and it deals with Pinocchio, but in a whole new world.
A whole new world. I get struck down on YouTube.
So it was really cool to see. If you have not checked it out, just Google Pauly Shore's Pinocchio film. And it doesn't really necessarily have like a Pauly Shore like hardcore voice to his character in there. So
yeah, it's shocking to hear him. Does he do voice work often?
I mean, he did the Goof Troop movies.
Yeah.
Cheese and
that's still one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. As far as voiceover work, I mean, yeah, I think I've heard them do plenty of voice work in the past. As far as current, though, I'm not sure. Yeah. What about you? Do you think you'll watch that one? I know it's not going to theaters, of course. It's going to be like on VOD and shit like that.
I'll definitely check it out. Pauly Shore is one of those actors that I'm like, I don't know if I'm a fan of him, but I enjoy everything he's in.
Yeah. Oh, the movie is fully titled Pinocchio, A True Story.
Yes.
And it came out in 2021, apparently. So it's already out. I'll have to go find that.
Oh, I guess he did a couple of Little Penguin story. Little Penguin, Pororo's Dinosaur Island Adventure and Treasure Island Adventure. So yeah, he's got quite a bit of voice. Because usually when you get actors to come in, it takes them a bit to get used to, like, I'm going to pick on him, but Matt Smith, if you've ever heard any audiobook read by him for Doctor Who, he needs some serious coaching, or even played the video game, because he'll get real low and talk kind of like this for no reason. Yeah. Like, just talk like you are in an actual studio.
Well, he played himself in Futurama.
Yes, he did. He stole Fry's girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, no, I'll watch anything with Pauly Shore in it. So I'm definitely going to go watch it. He's also in, what was that movie? Is Casper with Hilary Duff? Was it Hilary Duff?
You're talking about Casper and Wendy.
Yes, yeah. He plays he's in that and in The Spirited Beginning.
Yeah, it's Hilary Duff. I just got some breaking news I'm going to send you.
Dun 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 dun.
From Bloody Disgusting.
Uh-oh.
Right, so I'll need to read this later, but
do you plan on watching the Pooh movie?
I actually have no interest in watching the Pooh movie. I think I would have an interest in watching the Vince Vaughn Freaky movie instead.
Yeah. That's a good movie. It's an okay movie. It's kind of boring. Honestly, it wasn't as epic or as cool as everyone thought it would be. Honestly, it was all right. It was all right. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Okay.
It could be interesting. Trying to think of what else I mentioned. Oh, we've been playing. You know of those horror games, the like Until Dawn, Man of Medan, the anthology. They're like, what have I referred to them as? They're interactive movies, like choose your own adventure movies. Yeah. And the new one came out. It's not part of the anthology, but it's kind of like Until Dawn, where it's a really long one called The Quarry. And we've been trying out the couch co-op with my wife for the first time, even though they've been part of these games for a while. Yeah. And it's really fun to watch her freak out, because we got to pick what characters we play as, and she picked all the ones that have the tutorial on how to do the hard quick time events and stuff. Like, That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
The cast in it is pretty cool. I'm actually trying to find it. Cast. Okay. So here we go. No, wait, that's a movie called The Quarry. I am sorry. IMDb will have it. So I don't. Miles Robbins is in it. I recognize him. Justice Smith. David Arquette. Like it's I like when they pick hold on a minute. That's not who I think it is it?
I'm holding. I
think the guy from The Name is Earl. Yeah. Randy's in it. That's cool. I like him. But yeah, this is a really cool one. It's got werewolves and shit in it. And they let you know it's werewolves like almost immediately, so I'm not spoiling anything. So there's probably some other twist to knowing these games, but yeah, highly recommend.
Okay.
Are you reading that article?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just listening to you. Try and get through a sentence.
Well, I'm trying to talk and Google at the same time. I have so much more respect for people that can multitask with doing these.
Oh man. Okay. I don't know what this. I don't know what to do with that. Apparently, yeah, I don't know where to go from there. So apparently Sam Raimi came out and said that the fucking statue that falls in Multiverse of Madness, I'm not going to say what it falls on for people who haven't seen yet, but it was sculpted or molded and patterned or whatnot after Xena, Warrior Princess, because Sam Raimi had a lot to do with Hercules and Xena, so that's pretty cool. I did not know that. I did not notice that at all. So
no, I didn't either. Now that it's on Disney Plus to watch, I'm gonna have to go check that out.
Yeah, I'm tired today. Anyways,
you're tired. I'm awake.
So let's dive into another topic at hand. You were talking about Chris Pratt wanting to be called something else, man.
Yeah, anything but Chris.
Anything but Chris. Can we just call him anything but Chris?
I've been calling him not Chris.
No, I'm just saying we'll literally say anything but Chris to get his attention. Like that whole phrase.
Yeah, he might respond, he might laugh, and he might just ignore us.
he would just like give me a finger. I don't know, man. He's interesting fella. He's definitely an interesting fella, man. Anything but
interesting is a word you could use against him.
Against him?
For him. I don't know what's going on with it. I kind of worry that he might be getting some burnout here because he's been in so much so quick. Like he's been going nonstop for quite a few years now.
He's the White Rock, man. No, Chris Pratt, because he has a TV showing coming out on the 1st. So by the time this drops, I believe, right? Or is tomorrow the 1st? I don't even know.
No, this drops on the 1st.
Yeah, so when this comes out, he has a new show coming out on Amazon. I believe it's a limited series. It's only like 8 episodes long.
Yeah.
And on top of that, of course, he has Jurassic World Dominion came out. And then he's going to be in the new Thor movie, which comes out next weekend, I believe. And yeah. And he was just
which I would get to go watch with your brother and Mosier. So that's gonna be exciting.
Some other things that he is the Terminal List. Sorry,
I know you're jealous.
Yeah, I don't really care. I like to watch it by myself. The Terminal List is the show that he's going to be doing. He's like a Navy guy in that one. And it looks pretty cool. It looked really cool. I saw the trailer for it last night. But then he's also doing the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday specials coming out this year as well that he's in. Which I do you think they see the Millennium Falcon in this one?
That'd be interesting.
Own them. Why not? Like, why not play around with that idea? I know.
He did put R2D2 in Star Trek. So James Gunn? No, that's J.J. Abrams. I'm getting the J's confused now. Maybe I am tired. It would be interesting. Someone pointed out to me that the Millennium Falcon's in Revenge of the Sith, and I'm like, oh, how have I never seen or not noticed that? Yeah, the very end.
Okay.
But it would be interesting to see them start doing. I'm curious. It seems like because around the time of when I got married in 2015, like I think it was around 2016, they did some mandates where they wanted to keep the brands pure, and they removed all of the crossover toys from shelves and stuff. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember that happening, but I remember the crossover toys.
Yeah, well, because they had Mickey as Kenobi and Stitch as Yoda and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you couldn't buy those anymore. They were out of the parks. They were gone. They didn't want brand tainting, I guess. I don't know what the fuck the problem was, but it seems like they're loosening up on that quite a bit. So
yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah. It's interesting for them to do that because that's usually all Disney was about. Disney's not about any originality. It's all about putting sorry. I mean,
it's true though.
Like, look at all their most famous movies that built their company. They're not anything original. They were other people's works that they adapted. There's no originality there.
No, and they're the ones who have the goal to change the cop. You know, my wife and I got into this argument. I'm going to bring this up. She doesn't listen. She's not here. Yeah, she doesn't think that Disney should lose the copyright of Mickey Mouse. And I'm like, why? Like, because it's their product. They're still using it. I'm like, they could still use it without the copyright or the if it goes in the public domain, they still have the copyright.
The only thing that happens is if it goes in the public domain, then other
people could use it. Yeah.
We get Mickey Mouse horror film, dude.
Yeah. She's like, well, why should they be able to make money off of this thing that they own? I'm like, because it breeds creativity.
What are they doing with Mickey Mouse right now anyways?
Children's cartoons.
Yeah. They could be doing something really cool with that. Instead, they're just using him for crappy CG kids cartoons.
Well, no, those animated ones are pretty good. The Mickey Mouse shorts, those are really good. I love Potato Land.
I think that the thing is as soon as they lose the copyright on Mickey, it's a downward spiral and they just lose everything. It
surprised me that she was so protective of like Disney keeping. I'm like, no, it's first, just other people. They shouldn't have it as long as they do. First off,
I'm okay with Disney keeping Mickey. I honestly am. I really don't care about seeing other people work with Mickey Mouse because then you're taking something that is known as a kid thing. Like take, for instance, the Winnie the Pooh thing. You know, we have in the Winnie the Pooh now horror film.
Yeah.
You kids are going to Google Winnie the Pooh or some shit, and that's going to show up in the search.
I don't know if it will though, because I mean, look at all of their classic cartoons. They're public domain products, but if you Google any of them, the first thing that comes up is the Disney product. They know how to make things that stay in the public eye. And even if Mickey Mouse enters public domain and people do things with it, the Disney Mickey version is the first thing you're always going to see. They're like going to make sure of that.
It's not like people would. It's hard to say. Honestly, it's just the name at that point because everyone's made the mouse.
Yeah.
You know, it's the name and the outfit that the mouse is wearing that would be in public domain.
Yeah.
But when you think Mickey Mouse, you think Disney. And if the second Disney loses that, if someone else does something and calls it Mickey Mouse, whatever, you know, people are going to associate it with Disney. And that could be bad for Disney's image.
I can't wait for the first horror movie with Ronald McDonald.
That's every commercial from the 90s, dude. Do you remember those?
I love Ron. The only one I remember is the one where this woman wakes up with the king from Burger King in her bed. And then the slogan at the time being, "Have it your way."
Yeah, I don't know. I really wouldn't care to see Disney lose it, but I'm also not going to fight that Disney should keep it. Honestly, I really don't care.
Yeah, I think stuff going to public domain is important.
I like public domain stuff because that means I get to use it for free.
Yeah.
I get to show the movies on Facebook for free on a Facebook live feed.
We're only a few years till comic characters become public domain, so things really going to get crazy.
Yeah. What do you think Disney's going to do about that? Because they own most of them.
Probably pay to extend it again.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see where a lot of this stuff goes, because a lot of things that should be in public domain aren't in public domain and yet.
Thanks to Disney specifically.
No. And eventually, I don't know. Eventually, they're going to just be like, anything that's created by anybody, they own the license forever. There is no public domain anymore, and they're just going to get rid of it. Watch. They get rid of everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm pro public domain.
All right. What else you got for me, then?
Shit. Didn't you have stuff to talk about? You keep asking me.
I was letting you know everything all week, and then I forgot everything. Yeah. So I watched the I Know What You Did Last Summer films with my kid.
Yes.
Oh my God, those are so bad. I do not remember them being that poorly, like, I don't know, made or what.
I think I told you over text that I've seen the first one, and if I've seen it, you know it's nothing special.
Like the first one's almost a PG-13 rating, honestly.
Yeah.
There's not much that really should deem that as an R-rated film. When we were watching them, so we're going through specific franchises, me and my oldest son, and he's like seen all the Scream movies that are out so far, and now the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies. He watched like several other franchises too. We're about to start diving into some of the older stuff like Jason, Freddy.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Is he going to be ready for Freddy? Because that one can be a mindfuck.
He's watching Stranger Things now. It's basically Freddy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so we'll be diving into some of those older franchises. I looked at my wife. I was like, so do you think he's okay enough right now to start watching, like, you know, Saw or Hostel, like the torture porn shit?
Hellraiser.
She's like, why did you mean torture porn? I was like, have you ever seen those things? That's the genre they're considered right now. That's like what somebody made up for them.
Human Centipede.
He can watch Human Centipede. It's not bad. It's weird at first when you first watch it. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times, the first one.
I'll stick to Route 666. Thank you very much.
But no, I think Hellraiser, I want to do Hellraiser with him, but those are a lot more, there's a lot more in there, like with body horror stuff. So you got I want to ease him into some of the genres too. But right now we're focusing more on like slashers type stuff, and we'll see where it goes. I can't wait to do Child's Play because I loved all those movies.
Those are, I think those are the less of they're more comedies than horror.
After the first 3, they became comedy. The first 3,
I would say even after the first, because they did a lot of quips.
Well, yeah. Well, after the first Child's Play, it became a little bit more jokey with the stuff because we already understood, he's a killer doll, and it was the first one's the darkest one for sure. But it was after the third one is where you got into like all this other like humor shit like that we got, like I'll improvise just like Martha Stewart and all that crap. And yeah. But I mean, the same thing could be said about Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one was the darkest, the scariest one. The second one,
it didn't even have an actual end.
It did. It did and it didn't.
It ended in a cliffhanger that presumes they didn't get away.
Yeah. But the second one had nothing to do really with it. It disobeyed all laws of the
that second franchise. One, the possession.
Yeah.
But I hate the possession movies.
When they got into like Dream Warriors and stuff like that, it became more.
That one honestly might be my favorite.
Dream Warriors.
It's my mom's favorite, so I might be, influenced by that. But I think it's like the coolest concept. The cast is great. The acting's pretty good.
Yeah,
for an '80s film,
No, they still hold up, man. They do.
I know. I was just making a joke because
second one's the one I've watched the least, but I have gained more appreciation for it after hearing what other people have gathered from it, because it's a very coming of age LGBT type of film is how people look at that one, because the man inside all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be more of a representation of homosexuality and all that, which is interesting take. I never thought about it when I was a kid. And I even grew up with a gay brother, and I don't even think we've ever discussed that one when we were kids. But yeah, like I after hearing that, I was like, okay, I have more of an appreciation for that second film. Before I was just like, this is dumb. Like, why are we doing this?
I'm gonna have to rewatch it now with that in mind, because I hate the possession stories. I don't enjoy any of them.
Yeah.
I just they're so out of place, and I don't know.
Well, it made no sense too. And you didn't in the second one, you really don't see Freddy until the very end. Everything else is just going on, but you never see Freddy until the very end, and then he just kills a shitload of people.
Yeah, doesn't he like do voiceovers throughout the entire thing though, from what I remember?
Somewhat.
Like telling the kid to do stuff.
Yeah, you get a bunch of random.
What was the other slasher that did the possession? It was a mask. Was it Friday the 13th or Friday the 13th, Halloween?
Friday the 13th did like Jason could go into and possess the bodies, and that's how he got a new corpse, because his would get destroyed.
I remember because I only made it halfway through, but it's like there was a Halloween mask store, and one of them was possessed by some, I don't remember which one it was, but it was terrible, and I never want to go back to it.
Sounds like Goosebumps.
It does, but it's not that.
It might be.
I'll Google it. You keep talking.
It might be the Halloween one that has nothing to do with freaking Mike Myers, and I've never watched that one, honestly.
That's probably it.
So, Yeah, I've never watched the one without Mike Myers in the Halloween franchise. I really should be to give it a shot and see, because a lot of people hate it. So I'm like, okay, let me see what this is about. I really need to go back and watch it.
Oh, okay. Well, I just learned something new.
Uh-oh.
He's possessed by a creature called Thorn.
Who?
Michael Myers.
Okay. Hey, man, the 80s were weird, okay? They always had to do some weird stuff.
No.
No?
I'm not finding it.
I'm trying to
I
think.
know I've seen it though. Maybe it wasn't an original film and it was just bad.
Oh. Yeah, probably. It what you were describing reminds me of the Goosebumps story, The Haunted Mask, where they go in and get the mask and it sticks onto their face, which is like an evil version of Jim Carrey's The Mask. Oh. But I do like to I am liking going back and watching some of these movies with my kid, because my wife doesn't really care for horror a whole lot. Like, she can watch some stuff, but she doesn't like necessarily like watching it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have somebody to sit down with and actually watch the shit with. And I know almost everything that's going to happen in the movies usually. So it's like, I can be like, hey, watch the screen right now. Make sure you're paying attention. Oh, man. But he did watch that new Texas Chainsaw with me when it came out. The one I didn't like, but
yeah. I've seen the first Texas Chainsaw and I didn't care for it too much.
Oh, you gotta watch the second one, or The Next Generation, with Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Could it be? No, it can't. The New Blood, Part 7.
7? Part 7?
Girl who's possessed by the powers of telekinesis accidentally kills her dad. That can't be it either. I don't know. I'm looking and it's like I stupidly typed in movies like Nightmare on Elm Street 2, and it's like Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm like, yeah, okay, it is.
You were talking about Friday the 13th, New Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when she brings Jason back to life with telekinesis.
Oops.
Yeah. Because she wants her dad back, and she shouts it into the water or on the dock or some shit like that. And Jason is underneath there, tied down and drowned and stuff, and her telekinetic energy or whatnot brings him back to life.
Dude, you would like The Quarry so much. It is pure 80s slat. There's a thing chained in the lake. The menu music is very reminiscent of Nightmare on Elm Street theme. Mm-hmm. It's like it's clear that they are going for 80s nostalgia with this one.
It's really why I liked the Scream franchise ever since it came out, like, because they've always tackled mostly, you know, the old school slashers and stuff like that. Of course, because it's very meta in its creation. Yeah.
I prefer I Know What You Did Last Friday the 13th, or Scream If You Know What I Did Last Friday the 13th.
I haven't watched that in so long. It's all the spoof movies and shit.
I love spoofs. Bring back spoofs.
You want to watch a really bad spoof? You watch Taint Light. It's a spoof on Twilight.
Oh no.
It's so bad. I turned it off because I was just like, they basically turned her dad into like a really cringe-worthy dad. I was just like, no, I'm good. Like, he's on the bed, like doing things to himself.
I watched Vampires Suck with
I like
Dr.
that
Ken.
one. That was dumb.
Here's a funny story. I don't know if I told you this, but I was watching Caravan of Garbage, the YouTube series that watches sometimes good, sometimes bad things and then talks about it. They did a Twilight series on the way to the Batman's release. They were talking about the second film, and I'm imagining it in my head. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that scene. And then I remembered I never saw that movie. I only read the book. I watched Vampires Suck. That is how hard it is to tell the difference between that not so great story and a spoof parody.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yeah, they go and meet the vampire government in Italy, and like, oh no, wait, I never actually saw that. I'm imagining Ken.
All right. So as far as no, that's not right.
That's all right. Hey, listeners, by the way, before I forget, if you know this possession movie I'm talking about that is not Goosebumps, I'm pretty sure it's not Goosebumps. Please, for the love of God, let me know either on the Facebook group or through our email, because it is going to drive me insane.
There's Blood Mask, The Possession of Nicole Lamour.
When did that come out?
2007.
No, this is an older movie. I saw it like late 90s, so it had to be 90s or 80s.
The Haunted Mask.
That's Goosebumps.
Because that's what you're fucking talking about.
It's not that. I know it's not that.
I don't know.
I'm going to type ferociously into my... What's that?
Is it Demons from 1985?
I don't know. It might be.
Dun 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 dum 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 dum.
Are you calling me dumb?
I am not calling you dumb, nor am I calling you smart. Do you know what the mask looked like by chance?
No.
All right, what the fuck are we doing? No, we're on air.
Yeah, we are.
Yes, listeners, if you can find this dumb movie for Tivis, let him know, please. As far as anything else goes, man, like going on, I've watched all of the BBC Ghosts TV show, which is what the American Ghosts TV show on CBS is based on.
I would like it on record that it took him 2 months to finish the American. And since our last recording, which was 2 weeks ago, he has finished 3 seasons.
In the week. In my defense, though, 3 seasons was only like 21 episodes, I think. Whereas the other show, the whole season was like 13 episodes or 14, something like that. So it evens out. This BBC Ghosts version of the it's the original version that the American one's based on, loosely. Yeah, no, it's not loosely. I should say it's just based on it.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the 4th season for this show to come out. I'm really enjoying it. I actually like this one way more than the American show. The depth that they go into with the ghosts is so much better. I think the characters and everything are really good. And I just really enjoyed the BBC Ghosts a lot more than our American one. I'm still going to watch both of them, but I enjoyed the BBC one a lot more. I like the characters a lot more in it.
Yeah. That's a pretty common thing with most British to American adaptations.
Yeah.
Except for The Office, which I think is the only one where people prefer the American.
Probably because there's more character development throughout all those seasons versus the one season you have of the original BBC or original Office one. So which I think was only like 20 some episodes.
Yeah, it only lasted one season.
Yeah. But if people want to check out the BBC version of Ghosts, you can find it. It's on HBO Max right now. And there's not many BBC things on HBO Max, which kind of sucks. So I went to go look for more content on there from BBC. So it looks like I'll have to get BritBox and watch some more stuff.
Yeah, which is weird because I found out last year actually that BBC America is the majority owner or majority owned by WB, which maybe being left behind with AT&T. I don't know what the division is line. Okay. But
well, if you guys want to watch it, then go watch it fast because it might not be there long.
Yeah, who knows? I thought it was 100% like BBC, like, hey, here you go. Here's some scraps from our table because we refuse to allow our iPlayer to be turned into a streaming service for all of you. So,
right.
It's so dumb. Does BritBox have Top Gear on it as well?
Does what?
Is the Top Gear show on BritBox as well?
I have no idea. I
need to look into getting BritBox. No, that's where the original cast went. Grand Tour, I think, is that show, which I watched like 3 episodes of, and it's not bad, but it's not the same.
It says Top Gear is no longer on BritBox as of January 2021.
God. I really like that show. I don't care about cars one bit, but that show is so good.
Entertainment, man. Just taking it all in, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Do you got anything else for us today, my man, while we're here? Because this is literally just a shit show episode where we're just talking about anything.
Well, I got a couple topic things, but we could do that a different day.
No, go ahead. Give us some.
All right. Well, the first one I have is, what do you think about people who don't finish shows just so that it's not over for them?
Like for a show that's already completely finished?
Yeah. Like say someone was watching Next Generation, but they refused to watch the last season just so they know there's more Next Generation that they could watch, but refuse.
I'd say one that doesn't make sense because the world keeps building in the Star Trek universe. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't make sense to me in any shape or form. I'm like, it's over. The show is done. It doesn't matter whether you watch that season or not. It's just done. Just watch it and enjoy it.
The only time I could see you doing that is stopping at the very end of season 8 of Scrubs. If you just wanted to stop it.
Well, that's the end of Scrubs. So the next one is interns or med school or whatever the fuck it's called.
Even though they don't call it that, though, they just kept it.
It's on the DVD case, which means they learned because they're fucking stupid.
Yeah. I don't know. I personally would never do that because I'm just going to watch it and take the whole story in. Like, if it's going to end, it's going to end. What's the point of me stopping watching a full story if it ended? It doesn't matter. If that's the case, then just take your time watching it.
Yeah, it's I don't. What would be? I don't know. I don't understand it at all. If you're enjoying a show, just fucking watch it. Why would you not want to watch more of it? Just because then you have more if you ever want to. You can always just go back and rewatch it. It's not going anywhere most times. I mean, digital stuff now, you never know.
That's a tough one. I don't know. Again, it's like a perspective thing, I guess. Maybe I'm not sure. I like I said, personally, I would not do that shit. I would watch it. There have been times where I've slowed down on a show because I heard that it's getting an additional season, so I want to let it linger a little bit before that next show season comes out, so I can go from this episode straight into the next season. So, which I'm kind of doing with the show I'm watching with my kid, Manifest. Sorry. Like we heard that they're going to get one final season because they were like kind of shut down, and then that was it, which means the last season has a cliffhanger. So I'm like, well, let's slow down because they're going to be making a new season to finish it out. They're actually going to finish a show, which I like.
It's always nice when studios will do that for fans.
Yeah. So,
fucking My Name is Earl. Last Man on Earth. Fuck you, Fox.
Angel. Epic fucking ending, but it's such a bad ending at the same time. It sucked. But yeah, no, I would definitely tell those people you're crazy.
Yeah. And
just
another
get your story done with, like there have been shows where I've walked away from them because I'm like, fuck this show. But not just because like, I don't want the story to end.
Yeah.
I mean, I never want the story to end. But
who does? But
I also want the full story, Maybe at the end of the last episode, they kill everybody. So
another thing that I can't wrap my head around is, and I've been seeing this a couple times in the past week for a few different things, is people who go use it's too mainstream for me. What the fuck does that mean? Because if something is mainstream, the only thing that means is it is liked by a large group of people, which means there's a good chance you will enjoy it. That is the only difference in content.
What mainstream? So I guess I would need more information.
You get a lot with anime and music mostly.
Okay.
Like, oh, that band is too mainstream. It's on the radio. Why would I like? Because a lot of people do. You probably like it if you fucking listen to it, you dipshit.
Just because they're on the radio also doesn't mean they're mainstream, because there's a lot of indie artists that get on the radio.
It's a term that blows my mind. Like they refuse to watch some anime shows because they're extremely popular. It's things that become popular. And then there's an adverse reaction of some people to not want to even give it a try for reasons.
So they just want to be cool and be like, I'm not into the popular shit.
Like you're denying yourself possibly something you will enjoy for no reason. What mentality is that? There's popular stuff out there that I will recommend to people that I absolutely do not like. I do not like Evangelion. It's popular. You may like it. I do not like Ghost in the Shell. It's popular. You may like it. I don't like Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad. They're popular. You may like it. Like I will give them a try, because a lot of people do enjoy them, but I'm not going to be like, well, fuck that show. Tens of thousands of people watch it. It's got to be shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get that because even as someone who loves so much independent stuff, music, movies, like low grade movies, shit like that, I'm not going to go out and say, I'm not going to watch that because it's too mainstream, because, everybody, even your independent artists, could potentially become mainstream one day.
Yeah. Isn't the goal to get,
that's why they're there.
It's Red vs. Blue, not Red vs. Rooster Teeth is a huge example of that. People loved it when they were an indie company barely getting by with like 20 employees. Now they're owned by Warner or WB Discovery, have a couple hundred employees, a huge budget, a lot more content that is a lot better. But because they can't say certain things anymore, mostly because the people involved don't want to, they've grown up. But that's another argument. People throw them aside because they're no longer the small indie company. They're massive their popularity has grown, not population. They're a company, not a state.
I think that's one thing that has it. There's some companies that do that, and then some companies that stay like known for their independency. Like you have Trauma Entertainment is 100%, independent. Like that's what they're known for. They're the longest running independent production company out there. And, but even I would say that they're more mainstream than what people think because they're so popular in the cult area of filmmaking.
Now, what would you say if Amazon were to come and purchase them and suddenly they had a bigger budget to do more with?
Then it takes away from the whole ideal of what a Trauma style film is. But
what not if they put it into production, but the amount of stuff they can make.
We are getting that with a Toxic Avenger film that's coming out soon with Peter Dinklage. We're getting those things.
They announced Peter Dinklage for that film?
Yeah, he's playing Toxie.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah. So, I'm not hating on that because I haven't seen anything of it. And I love Trauma and even I pay attention to Lloyd Kaufman all the time, who's the owner of Trauma for people who don't know. And I would love to get an interview with him. That'd be awesome. He looks like a fun loving
anyone
guy.
Knows him, let us know.
Right. But he gave it's his blessing, the whole French, like everything. And I'm curious to see what it looks like with a bigger budget. But as far as like for me personally, I still like to watch the other stuff that they've done because I like the aesthetic of the cheesiness or whatever you consider it, the cheaper filmmaking. Because to me, it's always been like, I like this because I can make this and I can't make that Marvel movie over there. So
I could see it. I don't know what I actually just saw this morning, and that's kind of what made me think of it is somebody was talking about they know people shit on Nickelback, but the song is really good. I'm like, people shit on Nickelback because they were played on the radio a lot. And that's, I know it's a joke and stuff, but they have some really good songs. I'm sorry. It's time to get over they're popular, they're bad. And like,
I don't know. The popularity shit is just dumb. I don't think that it's worth saying I'm not going to watch or I'm not going to listen or I'm not going to read this book because of its popularity, Like a lot of people end up doing that though. Even take Twilight, for instance.
I knew this was going to go there.
It got so much hate, not because people actually were watching and annoyed with the movies, but because so many people actually liked the movies because they were becoming quote unquote mainstream films. Like you watch that first one and all the way to the last one, you can tell they got bigger budgets as they increased a lot more.
Well, they made bank every time. Like that is a franchise I'm shocked ended with 4. I didn't enjoy that. I read the books and I didn't care for the books. So I didn't care to try. I tried the first movie. I'll say that. I did try the first movie.
It ended with 5.
That's right. Yeah.
They extended the last book.
Well, wouldn't that still be 4? Because there's only 3 books.
There's 4 books, isn't there?
I thought the 4th book was the first book from Edward's perspective.
Are you sure about that?
I think so.
No. Movies.
But yeah, so I have a reason beyond. I know the story and I didn't care for it. So why would I want to watch it on the screen?
There's 5. There's 5 movies.
Is there?
Because they broke Breaking Dawn into 2 films, which I said.
So there's Twilight, Eclipse, and
New Moon, and Breaking Dawn.
And Breaking Dawn. Okay.
Yeah.
New Moon was the one I forgot because the second one's terrible. Yes, I remember that's the second one because it was horrible.
Well, yeah, the first one's all about Edward. The second one's all about
the worst character ever created.
Jacob. And then the third one is about them
I'm talking about Bella.
And then the fourth and fifth one are about her being married and getting pregnant and the war that never happens.
That is absolutely true. There are people who didn't go see Twilight because it was so popular. And I'm like, again, I know that I don't care for that story. I knew beforehand. You never know if you might enjoy it. Go watch it. I know I call them bad movies all the time, but I never even bad movies get people who enjoy them.
I don't recall.
Look at Myke.
Any of them. I don't recall seeing any of them in theaters, and I always made fun of them too, just like everyone else.
I saw the first one.
Them. And
they made great use of that Muse song during the baseball scene. That's the only compliment I will give them.
These came out around the time me and my wife. Yeah. Maybe we did see some of them in theaters. I don't recall though. I don't recall, but I remember always making fun of Twilight shit. And then I bought the Blu-rays, and then I started liking them.
What's funny is we saw the first one, I think, while we were still dating. And then my wife went and saw the last one, skipped all the stuff in the middle, went and saw the very last one. She never read the books or anything. She came back. She's like, that was a weird film.
I don't know what the hell just happened.
You skipped all the bits in the middle, but I guess you got the story.
Yeah. Basically.
That guy's a werewolf now. No, he's not, but sure.
Yeah. No, but yeah, they people always want to say, let's I'm gonna hate on this product because it's mainstream, and that's it. It's the stupidest logic too, because there's so many, and at the same time, the funny thing is, at the same time, they won't search out and find these other great films or great musicians that was mainstream.
Didn't you do a rant on either Facebook or Twitter about people complaining there's no original content?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People complain there's no original content or anything like that, because all there's looking at is the comic book movies, the Star Wars shit,
the big box office
stuff that, of course, the media, the news, whatever outlets, and the late night shows and stuff, that is what they're focusing on, because they're making bank off of that. ABC, Good Morning America is not going to be talking about the little old movie over here by A24.
I don't even know what that is.
The Marvel, especially because Marvel's their parent company. Not Marvel, but Disney's their parent company. Disney's no, you're gonna fucking talk about our movies. Don't talk about this little studio over here that nobody cares about except for some film people. It makes no sense.
Even I find it really annoying. I am a popcorn movie viewer. I go for the big box office, flashy dumbness, as some creators call it. Go fuck yourself. But even I acknowledge there's a lot of stuff out there that gets ignored and maybe gets played in one theater for a weekend.
Yeah.
It's if you want this stuff, you have to put in the effort to find it.
And the nice thing is, right now we're in a time where this non-traditional films that, okay, so we used to have filmmaking of all sorts of things back in 90s and 80s, 70s, whatever you want. It wasn't until the 2000s where we kind of got away and started doing a set thing. Once comic book movies blew up, that the movie theaters were just filled with box office.
Thanks, Wesley Snipes.
Money shit. But there was a time where there was a whole fucking theater area filled. It was just nonstop rom-coms coming out. Fucking Gerard Butler would be in 5 of them a year or some shit. So it was crazy. But yeah, it's interesting to see that now we're finally getting some studios that actually have some budget to where they can get their movies into theaters, get these quote unquote independent films into theaters because they're not Warner Brothers or Disney or Universal or Sony.
Yeah, and
although
that's why
Sony's
it's
not really on the same par as those other.
so concerning that they can now buy these theaters because they can literally prevent you from seeing any competition.
Yeah. But I've always shot out A24 Studio. Like they're the ones behind the film that a lot of people have been talking about is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
And they're more of like a distribution almost and stuff. So, and they pick and choose stuff like that, which is really cool. They're independent, but not independent company at the same time. They're more art housey films, I would say, which I like.
Yeah,
but it's also an independent thing. It gives you what's the word I'm looking for? It gives you choices to pick from.
Options,
yes. And then you, of course, you have like right now you have Blumhouse Studios is doing a lot more with horror and stuff like that, where they're picking up some shit. I think they've been
blowing up since Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. But they've recently been doing some really good, like they have some shitty stuff too, but they've been doing some, like every studio has shitty stuff. I'm not going to lie. A24 even has put out some things that are like, but Blumhouse has done like, they worked with, I believe it was Universal and them to do The Invisible Man, the recent one that came out. Or the Fantasy Island movie that came out a couple years ago. Which I actually enjoyed that. That was pretty fun.
What is that the new thing, turning old family things into horror? Because the Banana Bunch, Fantasy Island.
Well, see, the Fantasy Island, I don't want to spoil it because it does that, but doesn't at the same time. Here, let's just say this. The movie is basically a prequel to the TV show.
Oh, that's it. That all right. That gets me curious to actually watch it.
Yeah. So that's how I looked at it when I watched it. I was like, oh, this is like a prequel to the show. Okay, I got this now. Yeah. So that's the best way to describe it without saying everything that happens.
So when do we get the Survivors prequel?
Never.
And I meant the game show, not the good British show.
Nobody watches that shit, Tivis. Survivors.
They should. It's, post-pandemic world where most of the population have died off. It's relatable.
I'm trying to get my kids to watch this one reality, like quote unquote reality show. I think it's on Disney Plus. It's like a fantasy reality show where there's like goblins and shit like that, but there's like these kids, they have to like do this. I don't remember what it's called, man. Now that I'm thinking about it, fantasy reality show. The Quest. The Quest. It's called The Quest.
Is this Dan Harmon's show?
Who?
No, they wouldn't put that on Disney.
No,
Dan Harmon's band.
Wait a minute. Is this an old thing? 2014. No.
Harmon Quest was his show. Never mind.
Okay, so apparently this is from 2014. American fantasy-based competition series that aired on the ABC that premiered on July 31st.
They were probably taking advantage of Total Drama Island's popularity.
This is no way. This looked like a new show. No way.
Animation has come a long way. Like you look at some of the 2000 shows and they look pretty damn good still.
Here we go.
Those were just my two irks this week that were on my mind, like just this morning.
I like it. The Quest. Oh no, so it's like the same
How dare
idea.
you.
It's the same idea of the 2014 show, but it's a 2022 show. It's on Disney Plus right now.
All right, I'll have to give it a try because I really enjoyed Total Drama Island. I wish that show would come back. That was
the animated one.
One of my favorite Canadian animations, and they do a lot of really good shows with there.
Yeah. So here's the synopsis for this one, real quick, and then we can wrap up. The Quest.
I can't wait to see where you pick your quote from.
The Quest is a groundbreaking, immersive competition series that drops 8 real teens into the fantastic fictional world of Everrealm, where they must save a kingdom by fulfilling an ancient prophecy. Throughout the 8-episode series, these heroes are immersed in a fantasy world come to life. Oh, wow. Disney has a typo. Okay. I was like, what the fuck does that word mean? Come to life, complete with a castle, royals, ethereal fates, and sorcerers or sorceresses, and a sorceress's intent on destruction and power. Yeah, that's it. It says fantasy world come to life replete instead of complete. So they need to fix that shit. Disney, get on it. But no, it looked interesting. I'll probably be bored with it after one episode. It looks like they basically took D&D and made it into a reality show.
I mean, that's basically what they did with Dan Harmon's. He played a game of D&D and then they animated.
Oh, nice. I mean, it's basically what Stranger Things did, right? They took
pretty much. Yeah. Oops, I just punched my mic.
They're like, you guys are going to play this game while we record it and give it 8 episodes.
Dude, I'm D&D. I'm so happy it's back, and I'm so happy I get into play. I can't wait for our next session, dude. Always open an invitation for you.
You hear that, audience? An open invitation to everyone.
No, I said for you. I am going to friggin' DM the next one after this, and I don't want to deal with 12 people.
12? You'll get 100. 112. 1,200. All right. You got anything else left for us today, man? We're just blowing dust in the wind right now.
Don't watch The Room. What quote you got?
All right. Before we get there, Tivis, tell them where they can email us. Oh, come on, my man.
This is not as easy as the Monster Cast. All right.
What the hell is the email address? What podcast are we doing here?
Operation Babble at outlook.com.
There you go. All right. You can.
Is that seriously it?
Yes. You can email us at operationbabble@outlook.com for all your questions, concerns, bitching, moaning, and everything else. And don't forget to tag Tivis online and call him Daddy on Twitter.
Go buy a shirt from the merch store.
All links to everything is in the description below, guys. Thank you very much for listening to us. Tivis, how did you enjoy?
Please don't make this a shirt. Daddy? I can already see it forming in your mind.
Okay, Daddy, please tell us, how did you enjoy today's show?
I liked it.
What's that?
I liked it.
What's that?
I liked it.
Yeah, you did, Daddy. All right.
Oh.
My quote today comes from Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb from 1964. Thank you all for listening. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the War Room. Peace.
That was it. All right. Later.
You just finished another great episode of Operation Babble. You can catch every episode of Operation Babble on all your audio streaming services, including SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, and more. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Operation Babble, and join the conversation today by searching for the Operation Babble group on Facebook. Links also in the description. Thanks and have a great day.